Today, the second Sunday of the month of May 2021, the world is celebrating Mother's Day. Before we continue towards the presentation, let me share with you the famous quotation about mothers by Agatha Christie, and I quote, "A mother's love for her child is like nothing else in the world. It knows no law, no pity. It dares all things and crosses down remorselessly all that stands in its path." With Mother's Day around the corner, we began to wonder what Mother's Day is like in the Philippines and if there were any special Filipino traditions we should know about. Watch this presentation to learn the 4 things you should know about Mother's Day in the Philippines and how you can incorporate your own Filipino traditions into your Mother's Day celebrations. There are 4 things every Filipino should know about Mother's Day in the Philippines. On top of the 4 things, technically, Mother's Day in the Philippines is in December. Since 1920s until the last few decades, Mother's Day was traditionally celebrated on the first Monday of December, although no one does that anymore. What is most interesting is that, legally, it is supposed to be. True to form for Filipino politics, former President Ferdinand Marcos signed in a proclamation in 1980 declaring the first Monday of December to be both Mother's Day and Father's Day. Then, ex-President Corazon Aquino changed the date to align with the American tradition of having Mother's Day on the second Sunday of May and Father's Day to be the third Sunday of June. But then, the dates were changed back to the first Monday of December under former President Joseph Estrada in 1998. From then on, there has no new proclamation, so legally, Mother's Day is still supposed to be in December in the Philippines. But because the Philippines is made up of such a diverse mix of American culture, following American colonialism, everyone in the Philippines continues to celebrate Mother's Day on the second Sunday of May and Father's Day on the third Sunday of June. The second thing to know is about carnations. Carnations are the traditional Mother's Day flower. Carnations are typically associated with mothers because they are symbols of purity, sweetness, and endurance. This is not just the case in the Philippines but is also a tradition around the world. In the old days, school children used to wear cadena de amor, pink or red carnations, on their chest in honor of Mother's Day. Something to note that if your mother was no longer with you, then you would wear white carnations to show respect to those who have departed. The third thing every Filipino should know about Mother's Day is that Mother's Day is for the whole family. Mothers are the rock and center of the home, and this is no exception in the Philippines. Over here, mothers are given the title of ilaw ng tahanan, meaning the light of the house in Filipino, to recognize the warmth, generosity, and shining guidance that mothers bring to the family. In the Philippines, the family unit is ultra important and close-knit. That is why Mother's Day is not just to celebrate moms. It's a full-on celebration to show respect and gratitude to your grandmother, aunts, cousins, and other women in the family who are also mothers. And finally, Filipinos take their celebrations seriously. In case you did not already get the gist, let us hammer it. Mother's Day in the Philippines is a big deal. Filipinos take their celebrations seriously. And we mean seriously. That's all I could share in this presentation about the 4 things every Filipino should know on Mother's Day celebration in the Philippines. And to all mothers here in the Philippines and around the globe, Happy Mother's Day!